guys, today I've got another Diary of an Army Girlfriend video for you, and in this video I'm going to be talking about my personal experience going to visit my boyfriend for his graduation from his AIT. AIT graduation is quite different from the basic graduation, mostly in just that it is a much more intimate, small, personal experience. During the basic graduation, you had like dozens, if not hundreds of soldiers all graduating at once, and it was this whole big ceremony that took maybe like an hour or two. Since AIT is the specialized training that your soldier is going to go through, it is obviously going to be a smaller ceremony. I really don't know what to say about AIT graduations as a whole because obviously for every specialized training, it's going to vary. So I can't really speak on all the different MOS jobs and how their AITs go and how their graduations go. I can really only speak from what my boyfriend went through and what I went through. So I guess I'll just kind of recap my own personal experience. I mean, this series is called Diary of an Army Girlfriend. I flew down to his army post a few days before his graduation so we could spend some time together. His classes ended on, I believe, that Wednesday or Thursday before, and his graduation was the following Tuesday. So I left home at like 5 a.m. and I went through the worst TSA crap I've ever been through in my life. They were doing like some insane security nonsense, and the lines wrapped around the airport, all the floors of the airport. You were going up and down escalators and you were still online, and it was insane. And I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna miss my flight, because I did some extra time to travel because I always like to leave a little bit of wiggle room, but I assumed since I wasn't flying international that if I showed up like an hour and a half before my flight that I would be fine. But oh my god, I boarded my plane with like 5 minutes until they cut it off, and so stressful. The couple in front of me overheard me asking a TSA agent like, hey, my flight boards in like 5 minutes. Am I gonna make it? And the TSA woman said that from where I was to the end, it was about 7 minutes. And I was like, but my flight boards in 5. Am I going to make it? One family space ahead in the line really wasn't much, but I was very thankful, and I did take the opportunity to go one space ahead. After the almost 2-hour-long winding lines, they ended up not even having us take off our shoes or take off our jackets or unpack our laptops. It was just kind of like go through the metal detector and go. And I was like, why is the line so long if you're not even really checking anything? I passed by the Starbucks in the airport and I looked at it longingly, but the line of people was maybe 30 people long, and I did not have time for 30 people in line when my flight boards in 2 minutes, and then they closed the doors in like 12 minutes. So I walked past Starbucks, shed a little tear, and when I got to my gate, I saw that there was another coffee shop like right by my gate, and there was no one standing there, and I got myself a really nice cup of coffee. It was a beautiful latte. It was like fancy made and everything. The guy was really sweet. So I got my coffee, I got on my plane, I sat down. I ended up having the seat next to me open so I could like relax and sleep a little bit with like my legs up. They closed the doors maybe a minute after I got on the plane. I've never cut it so close. I'm usually one of the first people on the plane, and I've never been like, oh, the gates have been open for a while and, you know, we've boarded everyone, so anyone who's still waiting around, you can get on the plane now. I've never been that person. I'm always like, can I go now? Oh, you're boarding those people. Can I go now? Like, no, it's not my turn yet, but I want to be on the plane. Once I landed, I had to do some more adulting. I have never traveled alone, so I've never flown alone, so that was a first for me. And I've never had to rent a car. I managed to not get scammed out of $1,000 where they were like, oh, but you need our insurance. And I was like, oh, but I have insurance. Please stop trying to get my money. I did pay them a little bit extra to upgrade my car, and I got to drive a beautiful 2015 Charger, and it was gorgeous, and I want my own now. Oh my god. I flew alone. I rented my own car. When I got near the army post, I checked out my own hotel room, another thing that I have never done before. And honestly, it was really nice to do all of these like independent things by myself. As a military girlfriend or wife or whatever, like you're gonna have to do a lot of things on your own. Like you are in a relationship, but your person isn't always going to be by your side to do things with you. You're gonna need to learn how to be self-sufficient and survive on your own and be able to do all the little things that normally you'd want someone there with you to do by yourself. So I feel like I did a whole bunch of stuff that normally I would want him there with me for, and I managed to do it just fine on my own, and I was super proud of myself. Once I checked into the hotel room, I took a quick shower, did my hair, did my makeup, put on some cute clothes, and I drove off to the army post. Since I am just a girlfriend, I am not a dependent of my boyfriend, so I don't have one of those dependent cards, so I had to get a visitor pass. To get a visitor pass on this post, it was super simple. You just filled out some information about yourself, they did a background check. Once you cleared, they took your picture, they printed out a little temporary ID, and then I could get on and off the post, no problems, for a month. Once the whole process was done, I had my ID, I got on the post, and then I parked the car and I waited for him to come out of the barracks. Once my boyfriend and I were reunited, we just kind of did normal stuff. We went out to eat a lot. I felt like complete crap the entire time. Usually restaurants cook their food, including something that I'm allergic to, and I bloat up and my stomach hurts and I just feel like complete crap. And when I came back home, I went right back to my healthy eating, including a lot more salad than I'm used to. But other than all of the eating out that we did, we also just kind of explored the area. He showed me around the army post. Depending on what AIT you go to, they go through green phase, gold phase, and black phase. I don't know the order. Mine went through phases 4, 5, and 5+. And since he was phase 5+, he could leave the post. We did a lot of exploring. We checked out the surrounding cities and towns. We did a lot of hiking. It was kind of like a regular little mini vacation, except at the end of the day, we didn't get to go to sleep in the same bed. I had to bring him back a little bit before 9 so that he could go to bed check. So we had Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to just do whatever he wanted. And then on Tuesday was his actual graduation. So the graduation ceremony was at around 10 a.m. and it was super short. Like, I think it was less than an hour long, and it was super intimate and personal. Like I said, there were like maybe 10 people tops graduating. I got to meet a whole bunch of high-ranking soldiers, including the battalion commander of the post. He like went out of his way to meet me and introduce himself, and he welcomed me to the army life, which I thought was a really nice gesture from someone so high-ranking, just to go out of his way and be like, hey, welcome to the army and welcome to the army life. And this was probably my favorite part, because when they called up my boyfriend's name, they said that he was accompanied by me, and then I got to go up and I got to be the one to pin his pin onto him. I was the first one that they called up to do the pinning for my soldier, so I didn't even realize that's what was happening. So I'm sitting there like taking pictures with my camera, and I'm not really like paying attention to what exactly I'm photographing, and then it processes that my boyfriend and the other soldier are like looking at me like, come on, you're supposed to be up here, hurry up. And I'm like, oh, me, okay. And I like put my camera down and I run over and like I tried to pin my boyfriend, and the soldier is telling me like, oh, you gotta pin it 1/8 of an inch above the other pin, and I'm just focusing on not stabbing through my boyfriend's ACU into his chest, and he's like, don't worry, he won't bleed much. After the graduation, they were free to do whatever they wanted for the rest of the day, and I would have had him until 9 p.m. again, but my flight was that night because I didn't expect them to have that much free time after graduation, but apparently they did, and I wished that I had booked my flight for the next day, but I had to get back to my job and the real world. I believe around 5 p.m. it was time to say goodbye again, and this was one of the harder goodbyes because normally I just get to go back to my room and cry and eat ice cream. After this goodbye, I had to hold myself together and drive 3 hours to the airport. You can't really cry when you're driving because you don't want to crash. So holding it all together and like screaming to music in the car, trying to like keep calm, was really not the best experience. It kind of sucked. I didn't even have time once I landed to be sad, because once I landed, I went straight to work. I hadn't slept in well over a day, and I went through a full work day. Then I came home and I was so tired that I just fell asleep. So really, I didn't even really get to have my little meltdown after I said goodbye, which I guess is a good thing because it really shouldn't be that sad, because it's not a goodbye, it's a see you later. As much as long distance sucks, we know that we are bettering ourselves and that this is only temporary and it'll all be worth it in the end. I think that's where I'm going to end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was kind of more me recapping my personal experience rather than giving general advice and talking about broad topics. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave it a big thumbs up, and if you have any topics or things you want me to talk about dealing with being an army girlfriend, make sure you leave it in the comments down below. I read all your comments and I respond to pretty much all of them as well. If you guys want to keep up with me on all of my social media platforms, I will have links to them all in the description box down below, especially if you want to see photos from my visit with my boyfriend. Those are all on my Instagram, so you should definitely be following at Julie Jigsaw on Instagram if you want to see some really cute photos. if I do say so myself. Thanks again so much for watching this video. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, you totally should, so you're here for my next video, and I will see you guys then. Bye!
Actually, not bad.
Here are my 3 Z palettes full of Makeup Peak eyeshadows, and let's just get right into showing you guys all of these.